Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Micks Mowers. In today's episode we're going to take a little look at the little Mountfield that came in as part of a job lot from the landfill site. I couldn't get that one to start or even fire, so that's what I want to start next. It's going to be the most trickiest. All the others seem to be doing something. So I'm going to get on this little Mountfield first, see what we can't do. But before we do, I need to just say thank you to one person. I got a little text via my Amazon wishlist, which I've not had before. It's quite a weird one. Maybe they've changed the setup of that, but it said you've got a parcel that's been delivered, which is great. I went to the post box, actually had two. And this says, enjoy your gift from Detective Dave, the Lawnmower Detective. So he's got his own channel. Go and check out Dave, the Lawnmower Detective. He's also a police officer over in America. Go and check him out. Leave a message, say Micks Mowers has sent you. He sent me some hex bits, screwdriver bits, flathead Torx bits, and Phillips, and they fit into the into a DeWalt drive. So mine, I bought some DeWalt ones, and they sort of have failed over time. I've used them quite a lot, so I got those. But then in the parcel again, in the post box, I received this as well, and this is from the same person. I've got another little note here from Dave, the Lawnmower Detective. So again, off of my Amazon wish list, super duper. I got myself a nice little air duster. Gun, which I wanted. My one, the old one I had, doesn't have the nozzle on it anymore. I lost the nozzle on it and it snapped off. So he's bought me just a nice little one. It comes with a European connection and the UK one as well. So that's one I should be fitting. I'll fit that in a little while because I'll be using that today. So super cool. Thank you, Lawnmower Detective. You are a superstar. And as always, I have the receipts for all of this sort of stuff as well. So no need to come around here and check for my receipts and what have you. If this is your first time in watching Micks Mowers, hit the subscribe button, whack your bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told that one, I've done a video, or two, I'm on my Saturday night wiki live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's check out this little Mountfield lawnmower. Okay, here's the little Mountfield. I think it's a 414, 416, one or the other. There's no badge on it, there's no ID plate on it. I think it might be the 416 because it's got power drive. This machine has got some fuel inside it. I did try and start it up just the other day, but to no avail. Even with carb spray down the head, it still wouldn't do its business. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with it. If the primer bulb's not working or if it's got no spark, but it won't even fire. Plenty of compression there. But I do seem to remember it did puff a little bit of smoke out of the exhaust. So I want to check the timing on this as well. We'll check for spark, all that sort of good stuff. Let's get it up on the bench, have a quick little look. Right, here's the little Mountfield. So first thing I want to do is I want to check for spark, okay, because it wasn't doing anything at all. So the spark is going to be our first port of call. And after that we should go on to timing and other bits and pieces. I'll have a little overhead valve plug in here, which I believe I changed for a newish one. So I think I'm out of overhead valves now. Let's have a little look. Long old threads. It's getting fuel in there because I can smell stale fuel. Let's put this spark plug in the hole, hook it off. I will tie the dead man's handle off. And I then just want to undo this 10mm bolt up the top of the handle to bring the pull cord back down to me. There you go. And that just brings the pull cord back down. Now, with the dead man's handle tied off, I can now pull this cord. Massive big spark. Huge spark. So we've got a spark, but I'm a little bit concerned that it could be the timing that's gone on this machine. It's got spark, but it won't fire on carburetor spray. So that could be two reasons. The first reason being, it could have low compression. The second reason being, it's not firing at the right time. So it's one of those two things. Pull cord comes off, no biggie. We've got a little tiny nut to remove there. Again, no biggie. It's going to be that one. We're going to remove the nut Off that comes. That's all in one. And it's looking like the flywheel key is actually okay. Right, I've done the coil, also cleaned the magnets up as well. Just get a card there, a business card. I got a YouTube 10-hour fixes all card. He sent me a load of them, him and the boys. Perfect for what I needed to do. Just gonna run this one down first, just to hold the coil in place. Once it's held in place, I can then do this one up. I'm just being lazy, not getting my deep socket out. I've got one. That's that. Now the coil has been set correctly. We've got a bit of a clean airflow gap on there. Get rid of the old copper slip before I tip that over. And we can now put the pull cord back on. These are some of the checks you have to do just to, you know, sort of take it off the old box, so to speak. Okay. So now we know that the air gap's good. We know that the keyway's good. It's just now to retest for spark again, make sure we haven't lost anything. Nice big spark, huge big spark. Let's now put the plug back in. Oh, a bit of carb spray first might help, Mick. Bit of carby spray, mind my head. Plenty in there. Put the plug in nice and quick before it all evaporates off. And nick that up. Nice and tight. HT lead back on. Mime pry bar. Take the dead man's handle off. Give it a quick pull on the old bench and see if it won't actually just fire. That fired. It is firing. It's not quite firing right. What I'm going to do a carburetor clean on this and try and get the machine to run off its own back on petrol, because I believe it will fire, but just doesn't like firing on carburetor spray. So the more chance I give it of a priming carburetor, the better it could be. So let's have a carburetor off. Simply done. Turn the machine around. These are very, very light. That's why I like working on these. Let me bring you guys down a touch. Okay, my rider boy's been sat in my chair. It's halfway up in the air. We're going to now remove the airbox, remove the filter. D-walt 10mm. Remove that nut there, that always gets stuck in there. So I'm seeing oil. I know I have tipped it up, but it just smells rancid, which is not a good thing. Slowly remove the airbox cover. There'll be a little tiny primer bulb lead as well to remove off of a carb. This is not releasing. I think it's a crankcase breather that's causing problems. There it goes. And there's a little tiny primer bulb wire to remove just here. A pipe, keep calling it a wire. And that feels quite solid too. Let me try and turn it around. I don't want to break it because we need it to work. There's a little primer. We've then got a fuel line clip to remove. Set of forceps to clamp the old fuel line off. Let's do it right up here at the way. And a little pair of long nose pliers. Give the old fuel line a bit of a twist first. If you can get it to move, it seems well stuck on there. Give it a bit of a rock to and fro, and then just prise it gently off of the carburetor. You lose a little bit of fuel, obviously. Let's just unrelease the fuel line very quickly. Just want to make sure I've got a flow, because sometimes these have got a little filter up in the tank and they get bunged. Oh, look at that. That's red. That was red, that was. Red with rust. Oop, drop that. That's it, it's locked off. Okay, carburetor to come off very simply. Pair of long nose pliers for your governor arm, you know, the throttle arm. That should lift off with relative ease, he says. Yeah, the fiddle fairies have been in, definitely. That's what I call them, the old fiddle fairies. So we've got a carburetor coming off. Lots of dirt on here. Oh, that's well on there. Gasket's been saved. Look at the stuff in there. Look at the stuff in there. Lots of rust in here. Yeah, we'll do it down here on the old bench, shall we? I've got a few mowers in places, so it's not exactly practical at the moment. I've gone from being not very busy to being really, really busy. So let's have a little look, see what we've got in here. Oh my word, can't get that off. Don't snap, don't snap. Look at that, what's that? Oh my lord. This is going to be yummy. Oh my word. Oh my word, two-stroker. That's just plain oil. Plain oil, and look what's in there. Look, you can see that. Look, there's actually an alien in there. That's actually, oh no, I think that carburetor might actually be trying to do a poop. Is what I think. Oh my lord, this carburetor's just been sick. It's gonna have a poop, I know it is. Oh my lord, it's having a poop. So that's rancid. That's why that's not been running. I don't believe it to be where I tipped it up. I don't believe that to be the case. This smells like it's water in here as well. It's got another alien actually in the early stages of being born on there. Oh my god, this is a lovely carburetor. It's no wonder it didn't want to start, because you know it's trying to fire up, but there's so much stuff in that carburetor it didn't want to. So let's try and get that jet out. Yeah, it's coming. That's good. Before I go any further, I should be fine. This is quite bad, this carburetor. It might be an ultrasonic cleaner job. Take the pin out. Float. Yeah, this is like two-stroke. It's actually the wrong colour oil to be anything else. So I need to drain the tank right out. Although the tank was empty, wasn't it? Yeah, the tank was empty. There goes that, there goes that. Got a little tiny kiddie over here to remove. This may be a carburetor cleaner job. A slow running jet. That all looks good. Lots of oil in there as well. Oh, it's yummy. And no hole at all going through the main jet, so that's got to be filed out. Let me have a bit of a clean up. Get rid of that, whatever that is in there. Bit of a clean up. I'll come back to you in 2 ticks. So I need to be quite a sterile environment when I'm doing carburetor cleaning. Look at that there. Look, see that there? Look, are you getting that? Oh my lord. Yeah, quite a bad carb. Clean up, come back. Okay, giving it a bit of a clean up. The bowl has come back quite well. There's still a little bit in there, but I can clean it out a bit more, no problem. That's as far as I got. Just a bit of a tidy up. That's what I was trying to do. Get my files out now, because this main jet is absolutely plugged, and these are renowned for 100 hunting these machines. So there's every possibility I'll get this machine running, it may need 2 or 3 cleans. So I'm just going to now be a little bit more ruthless than what I normally am, and I'm applying some sideward pressure onto this this main jet. You can drill these out as well, but they need to be really, really clean. So a little bit of sideward pressure on these jets is required. And I'm just cleaning up the side walls is what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to take a little bit of material off. Not a great deal, just a little bit of material off. And a bit of carb cleaner, which I don't normally use, but this is particularly bad. And now there's a hole in there, a good sized hole. I might just attack that from the other side as well. So I'm generally a bit more thorough with these carburetors because, as I say, they don't tend to respond very well to cleaning unless you're really mega thorough with these. I've had lots of people ask me about these little engines, and I love them, but you have got to be quite thorough with them. A quick that'll do generally won't do. That's better. Nice big hole in there now. That's what we want. Same goes for the tube, the emulsion tube. Just get your files, run them into the holes. Just be quite thorough again. Sorry about the noise, someone's doing some building work out the back. And there's some bigger ones further up. They're not really the problem, it's these little tiny ones that are the problem. As long as you can see daylight through them. Bit of carb spray. And just plug the bottom hole up. Give it a twist, make sure you're running out of all holes, which I am. That's good. Now we move on to the actual carburetor itself, changing from WD-40 to from carb spray to WD-40. Let me get a straw. Okay, with WD-40 straw now, I'm just going to go through all these holes, make sure you're right in there. And what you want to be seeing is when you push it in one end, you want to see it come out of another. That's the idea, okay? Everything has an orifice, and it should all come out somewhere. It's come out down the bottom now. In through the main intake. Give that a spray off, and then with my new air gun that my mate, the Lawnmower Detective, supplied me with. Thank you very much, Lawnmower Detective. Well happy with it. Give that a good clean for all the holes. Now there's a little tiny hole just right down in here, right down in there. There's one there. You want to get into there and all. Okay, give that a good clean too. That's where all the stuff sits. You've got a hole here. You've got a hole here. Primer bulb hole. Push that through. There it goes. So that's where that hole was down the bottom. Remember I said there's a hole down the bottom here? That's where that hole is. Let me just show you. When you put it in the primer bulb hole, you'll see it come up from down here. There it is. So if you don't get in there, you won't clean it. Okay, so that's that one. There's also one round here, one here. Give that a clean, and then you've also got all this muck that's just sat in this carburetor. I use dental picks, they're brilliant, okay? Just for cleaning all this gunk out. That's all old oil, that's what that is. It's not gasket, that's all old fuel and oil. Cheers, Dave. I do love it when people buy me bits off me Amazon wish. In fact, I've just had another parcel delivered. I'll show you. Mrs. P just came in. I'll do it at the end of the video as well. Mrs. P just came in, so you got another parcel here. Where did that go? Here it is. Another little parcel, Amazon wish list. No note on this one, unfortunately. No note. Someone bought me a little extension set too. Hex extension set. So fantastic. Thanks for that, whoever that was. Please let me know who it was. I will do it at the end of the video too, in case someone doesn't watch all the video. Cheers, Dave. Oh, there's Mrs. P. Hi, Mrs. P.
Hi.
I'm doing quite well on the old wish list, babe, aren't I? Getting quite a few new toys to play with. Hey, you okay?
Yes.
What are you up to?
Well, I can't go out at the moment because I'm waiting for Royal Mail.
Royal Mail. Well, I've had all my puzzles delivered today. I'm quite happy about that.
That was yesterday.
It could have been. What was it you're supposed to be waiting on then?
Brandon's parcel.
Oh, okay. Well, don't say too much. You might watch his videos. On the top here as well, a bit of a clean up. Cheers, Dave. A little bit of a soak with WD-40. Just try and remove all this crud. And you may just say, just put it in the carb cleaner mix, just as good. Well, just as quick here. I like this gum, this is brilliant. Get right in there, look. Blowing them right out. That's what you want. You can really see the difference when you can get right in there. Well, I think we're there. Cheers, Dave. Well chuffed with this. Comes with 2 or 3 nozzles too. Right, that's that carburetor now, in my opinion, cleaned. Okay, I'm absolutely smothered. I don't know how you guys are doing. You got any dirt? No, you're all right on your lens. You're all right. But I'm smothered. So let's now clear the decks one more time, because now we're trying to put this carburetor back together, and there's still a few little tiny bits of dirt here and there. So I'm going to give it one more blast off with the old air compressor, just to make sure it's clean right up, and then we'll reinstall it. Now reinstallation is pretty much the same. Emulsion tube goes in first, followed by the main jet, followed by the bowl, float, and all that sort of stuff. Stick it in there, put it back together, 2 ticks. Right, okay, so carburetor now cleaned. But what I need to do also, just put some WD-40 down and primer bulb, okay? Because we're not sure whether that's actually running or not yet, are we? You should see, oh, that might be blocked. You should see a little tiny bit of fluid coming out through here, you see? There it goes. I think that's blocked. Let's put a little bit of air in there. Don't go too fierce with it. You don't want to blow it up. A little bit of air. Ever so slightly. See it pulsing? In there and all. With that now doing its job. Yeah, it's now working. I don't think that was working beforehand. Right, so now, and carburetor's cleaned. I did the slow jet as well. I didn't show it on camera. I did a little slow jet. That's not now put back together. Tidy the decks up, and I'll come back with a mower on top. We'll refit it, and then we'll drain the fuel out, all that sort of good stuff, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, carburetor time. Here's carby. We've got a little tiny gasket here. Can't remember which way that went on. It went on that way, I would say, because it's cut out for the crankcase breather. And then I can tell it because it's got a little tiny ring around here. You can tell this part of the carburetor went on it. That now goes on. We're now going to hook up the fuel line and move the clamp down. I hate these clamps. Get on my nerves. See, that's on. Now I'm going to pick up the throttle spring, which I had problems getting on earlier on because the fiddle fairies have been in there. Let's bring it out a touch so I can get in there. Come on, baby. Oh. Your hands like a doll. Push it all the way up in there. Maybe I screwed that up too tight myself, maybe. Let's just loosey-goosey that off a bit, just so I can just turn the throttle around. That's better. I don't want to go in there at all. I don't want to go in there at all. It will though, I can make it. There it goes. Put your little spring on. That all goes on. So now what I want to do is get a little bit of fuel. That way we're then checking for leaks, right? Plenty in. That'll be enough. That way we can then check for leaks, okay? But there's a reason to this as well. What we now want to do is just, got no more gaskets to fit on, that's all done. Just want to now fit this primer bulb onto this here and then prime the old carburetor to make sure I've actually got a priming carburetor. So do that first, click it on there, and then just by priming it, if you look inside of here, you'll see the little tiny emulsion tube, and you should see it start to prime. And to be fair, I ain't. Oh, hang on. Forceps. That might help. Let that drop down. Yep, priming carburetor. So now with a priming carburetor, it now stands half a chance of starting up. So now what we can do is push that clip down. It's going to be another mission in itself. I know you guys can't see, there's a little tiny primer bulb clip here to push down, which goes there. Now spin this around, air crankcase breather pipe to go on. All at the same movement, push it on, and it'll all go on. So that's now all fitted, I believe. That's as far back as it wants to go. Two little tiny collars to put on, which came off of the machine originally. It could be a bit of a pickle to fit as well. If you don't get them in right, they never tend to fit. I'll keep my big fat head out of it. Well, you guys don't see nothing, do you? So Mick, move your head. Right, that's all in now. We can now do up the two securing nuts. One there. I don't know if I've got this carburetor's flooding or not. I'll have to see in a minute. I don't think it is. Now I'll just show you what I mean about this carburetor priming. Let me just show you. Okay, this is quite a simple test. If you've got one of these Mountfields and it's not starting, when you hit that primer up here, there's a little tiny tube, so a little tiny brass tube right in the middle of the screen, right at the bottom of the carburetor there, a little tiny tube. If you prime that now, you should see it jump up with fuel. If it does that, you know you've got a priming carburetor, okay? If it don't do that, you need to have a carburetor cleaned. It's as simple as that. So let me get your back set up again. Okay, back set up again. Now bearing in mind, I haven't used any new parts yet, apart from a new spark plug, okay? I haven't used any new parts. The filter could do with it. I've got one of these somewhere, I know I have. I need to find that, it might be behind me. I've got a new one of these. I have got one. I bought a couple just the other week. I'll go and find them. But I'll put it back in for now, it ain't gonna hurt it. Just because I don't want to invest anything in this machine until I get it running, right? That's the idea. But I've got a couple of new ones of those because I quite like these. Now, as I say, the bloke who sells it, who sold me these, he actually had another one of these, but it was in really rough shape. The deck was orange rather than red. It should be red. I might go and pick that up and just put that in the shed and leave it because it's worth a tenner or fiver of anyone's money just to have it as a spare part, you know. Let me just blow off my airbox cover. A bit of a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mr. Airbox. Happy birthday to you. That's good enough. All right, Mr. Airbox had happy birthday. Which way does that go? That way. All right, that's on. Fuel cap on. No fuel leaks. I'm going to check the oil one more time. I'm pretty sure the oil was good. I'm going to take it outside and give it a run. Now, if it runs, I'll have to do the drive on it, but the drive I think works. It just wants to handle up the top, which I don't know if I've got a spare on for that. But what we're looking for is this machine just to run and do what it should do. That's what I'm looking for. If it does that, then I'm super happy. If it don't, I'm going to throw it against the wall. Right, see outside 2 ticks. Right, let me go and get it off the old bench. Ooh, getting old. Right, that's it. Now bearing in mind, this little machine wouldn't even fire, would it? So I haven't even tried to start it. HT lead is on. Let's give it some pumps. I'm hearing a squelching noise, and I like the squelching noise. Dead man's handle seems to be working. Let's give it a pull. Now we'll see what happens with this little machine. There you go. Bit of oil coming out the exhaust. You hear it not hunting. That's because I didn't skimp on the carburetor clean. Now it needs a good run now because it's been tipped up and I don't know the condition of the rings or anything like that at all. So let's give it a good run. I'll turn it off after 2 or 3 minutes, try and restart it again and see what it does, but the engine may be no good at all. But until it burns that off we won't know, so give us 2 minutes and I'll come back. Okay, so true to fashion, it's settled down. I haven't touched it. And also I need just to buy a back handle for it. If you pull the drive cable, the wheel spin as well. It's actually a drive mower. How cool is that? So no hunting, which is good. Want to service now. It's a bit smoky. It may have a little bit too much oil in it, but it hasn't missed a beat. Not a beat, not a beat at all. So it's a darn good run. Probably an oil change, blade sharp and balance, new air filter, and a back handle. So if anyone's got a back handle for a 164 or 414 self-propelled Mountfield and you don't want it, or you want to sell it to me, let us know. I'll have it off you. So now, there you go. And all that was carburetor. Isn't it funny though how it didn't want to start on carburetor spray? I think there's just so much stuff inside that carburetor I didn't want to know. But yeah, a new back handle for it. The drive all works. Bit of a clean. Good to go. Job done. Okay, Mountfield 414 or 164 now complete, fully running as it should do. Super happy with it. It was only destined in one place. In fact, it was in one place. It was already in the scrappy, in the tip, and someone pulled it out just to sell it on cheap, which they did. I then went forward and purchased it off of him, and now it's up and running. Wants a bit of a service, blade sharp and balance, all that sort of good stuff. But now it all runs, and it's power drive. If anyone knows where I can get hold of a drive handle for that machine, a 414 or a 164, I believe they're the same. Send me a link via my email, send me a link and I'll go and pick that up. So that's cool. It's funny how it didn't want to start off a carburetor cleaner. It was pointing towards timing towards me because of a popping coming out of the exhaust, but hey ho, I think it was just literally because there was so much muck in that exhaust, in that carburetor, it didn't want to fire. Anyway, that's done. Just want to say a big thank you to whoever it was that bought me this set of Hexi drive quick release bits off of my Amazon wishlist. So that's 3 parcels or 4 parcels I've had in about 2 days. Absolutely brilliant. So if anyone would like to buy me a present off of my Amazon wishlist, you'll find it in my comment section or my about page. There's something on there for myself or my little Riley boy. Feel free to hook us up and buy us a little present on our YouTube journey. We are very much appreciative. If you did enjoy this little episode of Micks Mowers, give us a thumbs up and subscribe towards the old channel. Don't forget to set your bell notifications all that way. You'll be told when I've done a video, or turn on my Saturday night wiki live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. I look forward to the next episode of Micks Mowers very soon. But until then, people, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.